Hey there, boys and girls, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Dan Ashendorf, and today we're going to be talking about bodybuilding and wealth building. I've seen a really interesting blog post about bodybuilding, and that kind of made me think. Just before we go any further, forgive me, there's a little bit of noise here. We are having some building work done, so if you hear a bit of drilling or anything like that, do forgive me. And also remember to join my Facebook group. Does it work? Internet marketing, does it work? You can find it easily on Facebook for the latest tips, tricks about traffic and marketing and all good things. If you want to get hold of me directly, it's daniel.ashendorf@gmail.com. So let's talk about bodybuilding and wealth building. So this article was about the extremes that bodybuilders go through to when they compete. So what they do is a whole bunch of extreme stuff. They work like Trojans at the gym, literally 7, 8, 12 hours a day. They just pump iron. They have a really strict dietary regime as well. Low carbs, really hard. It's just a lifestyle that's really difficult to comply with, but because they go for that extreme, they also get extreme results. So you see them and they are just ripped, they're sinewy, they look great, but it's an extreme sort of look because they've put in the extreme amount of effort into it, and they've paid the price. They could have paid with their health, they could have paid with social life. There's a whole bunch of things that they've paid for just the sheer suffering and discipline. There's also one form of payment that they have undertaken, and it's the same with wealth. So you see people who want to get by and they just do a little bit of activity here and there, and they're quite happy, quite contented to be earning a mediocre amount of money. And also you see people who go for the same level of extreme as the bodybuilders do, and obviously in a different industry. So what they do is they pay the price as well. They have to take high levels of risk, high levels of investment, so they have to invest in ads, in infrastructure, in software, marketing, hire staff. All these sort of things cost money, and they can be risky when you don't know how well your business is going to be doing. Lots of work. They also network a lot. They have to, before lockdown, they had to travel. They had to really go out there and be extreme in the way that they scale up, because you're not going to get rich unless you really scale up. If you've got a good idea and you want to make it big, you need to be scaling it up. You need to be building on it, and it needs to be at a pace and at a rate and size that's going to make you wealthy. So what they're doing is they're going extreme, and it just made me think of the similarities between wealth building and bodybuilding. So with bodybuilders, with people that go to the gym, they might just want to lose a bit of weight, they might want to become a bit leaner, maybe just eat better. So what they do is they come in and they dabble, and they will have results, but it's not going to be as dramatic as the ones who've paid the price. And that's really what it boils down to, is what sort of price are we willing to pay to see results? Because if we're going for the extreme, either in wealth building or in bodybuilding or anything else, any sort of sport, any sort of endeavor, anything in life, that, art, anything that we do, if we're willing to go extreme, we're willing to go big, there is going to be a price to pay. So really the question is, what price are we willing to pay? And there's no right and wrong answer, because if you're not willing to pay the price, then that's absolutely fine. If you want to have a stress-free life, and I can really see the positives of a stress-free life, because we know that stress causes illnesses. There's been a really strong link between stress and disease. So that's a given, and if that's you, you're not willing to take the stress, you're not willing to pay the price, that's absolutely 100% fine. But some people will do. Some people are really motivated, they're willing to pay the price. They will pay with their health and stress and relationships and risk, and sometimes it's all going to go horribly wrong, but sometimes it's going to go right, and they are going to become very wealthy. So if you ever look in at someone from the outside and you're thinking, why is he so wealthy? And I'm assuming he hasn't been given that money from his family or anything. It's a self-made person who's made a ton of money. You can know with 100% certainty that that person has paid the price, and then you can ask yourself, are you willing to pay the same price to get to those very same results? Thanks very much for listening to me. I'm Dan Ashendorf. Speak to you at the next one. All the best, boys and girls. Take care now. Bye-bye.